Hey guys, our week 3 one dumbbell workout. So if you have access to one dumbbell, just a series of exercises you can do to create a little workout, just utilizing that one piece of equipment. Kind of a similar format to what we've done in previous weeks in terms of just prioritizing one side of the body for a series of movements over the course of a few sets, and then taking a break and repeating them on the opposite side of the body. So the format of the workout, the structure of it, will all be in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. It'll also be contained in SugarWOD. So you can, basically the outline is going to be 40 seconds of work followed by 20 seconds of rest. You're going to do that for 4 exercises in a row, all for one side of your body. You're going to take a minute break and then repeat that sequence on the other side of the body. And the goal is to go through 4 sets total for both sides. So ultimately, I think that adds up to about 40 minutes of work, the whole entire time, doing as many reps as possible for 40 seconds. It's not like you're going to be speeding through these. They're all pretty deliberate types of movements, but the intention is to just work for the entire 40 seconds, take a 20-second break, move on to the next exercise. All right, I'll go over the 4 movements, talk about some potential scaling options if necessary. As always, guys, if you have any questions about anything, just feel free to reach out. So the first one is a reverse lunge, holding the dumbbell in either the goblet position or on your opposite shoulder. Once you do the reverse lunge, you're going to step through and bring that opposite knee up to about hip level, and then just lower back into the lunge. So there'll be a moment of time where you're just balancing on your working leg. I'll demonstrate one or a couple. I'll first hold it in the goblet position here at the chest. Start with your feet under your hips, take a step back, kiss the back knee to the floor, push through the front foot, come up to standing, balance for a second, lower back under control, and repeat. And if your dumbbell is heavy enough, you can hold it here in the front position. If you have a relatively light dumbbell, you can just place it in the rack in one arm on the opposite shoulder of the leg that's working. This will present a little bit more of a challenge in terms of balance for sure. And if you can perform it this way, even with a relatively heavy dumbbell, then I'd say go for it, okay? If you can't maintain your balance when you bring that knee up and you're kind of all over the place, it really kind of detracts from the benefit of the exercise. So if you're losing your balance over and over again, having to reset and spend most of the 40 seconds kind of fumbling around, just do the reverse lunge. That'll be fine. Just eliminate that balance component. Second is going to be, what's second? The plank in a row. So a rotational row from a plank position. So I was just working my left leg. Now I'm going to be rowing with my left arm. I'm going to start in a plank position first with one hand on the dumbbell, one hand supporting myself on the floor. Feet are going to be about shoulder width apart so I can maintain my balance as I row. And the goal here is to really treat it like a full body exercise. So engage the trunk, rotate the hips and shoulders as you pull the dumbbell all the way up alongside the body, control it back down to the floor, and repeat. And obviously just using that opposite arm to stabilize yourself the entire time. Again, if the balance component of that gets a bit tricky, you don't have to necessarily focus on that rotation so much. Just pull that dumbbell up to the side of the body. Third is going to be a staggered stance muscle snatch. So the main objective here is to focus on extending the hips, so using the glutes and the hamstrings on one side of the body to create that momentum on the dumbbell. So you're going to stagger your feet. Your working leg is going to be in front. Your non-working leg is behind, just like a little kickstand. So it's not an aggressive split stance. Just stagger it slightly and elevate the heel off the ground so you're not using that opposite leg at all. You're going to grab the dumbbell with an overhand grip. Start with it on the ground in front of your non-working leg, and you'll perform a muscle snatch from that position. So it's a smooth pull off the ground, keeping your back nice and tight. Once that dumbbell gets to about knee height, aggressively snap the hips forward and punch the dumbbell all the way up overhead. So I'll do a few reps. Nice smooth rhythm off the ground, that nice aggressive sharp extension of the hip forward. to prioritize working the glutes and hamstrings on that side. Number 4 is going to be a rotational press. So you're going to be laying on your back. It's kind of like a floor press with the dumbbell. So it'll start in the same position a bench press would, essentially. You're going to punch the arm straight, but then also rotate the trunk and end up on your opposite elbow. Okay, so I'll show it from the side. So start lying on your back. Your elbow is flat on the ground here. Your elbow is at 90 degrees. Your same side knee is bent with the foot flat on the ground. Opposite leg is straight. I'm going to dig my opposite elbow into the floor for support, and I'm going to rotate into that arm and then push myself up. So it's going to look like this. Punch the dumbbell, rotate, press into the elbow, and then lower back down in the control. You can see it's one nice smooth fluid motion. Lead with the dumbbell and follow it with the trunk coming up to that elbow in one fluid motion. And in order to do that effectively, I have to use that same side leg, kind of drive the heel down into the ground. If the rotation component to that is a little bit too tricky, again, just perform a lying floor press. So just lie on your back, dumbbell at the side, press the arm straight, lower back under control. And again, the format will be 40 seconds, max reps. You can see each of the movements, again, is fairly deliberate, so you're not going to get a ton of repetitions. Try to keep moving for 40 seconds. Try to keep the number consistent across all the sets. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest between movements. At the end of that circuit, after that 4th movement, you'll take a minute break, repeat on the opposite side of the body, and you'll do that. The goal is 4 sets, certainly at least 3, 4 being kind of the ultimate goal with that. That should take about 40 minutes, 3 sets, 30. It's about 10 minutes around. All right, guys, reach out with any questions. Have fun.